Hi everyone, as the title suggests, this is going to be my final video as a professional F1 sim racing driver. It's currently 37 minutes past 12 on the 23rd of March 2025. Tomorrow morning I'm flying to Sweden to be competing in the final races of the championship. I won't be uploading any YouTube videos while I am in Sweden competing during the championship, quite simply as I want to focus entirely on enjoying the moment, absorbing the atmosphere and the energy, and making memories that will last for life. But I want to dedicate this video to you at home, to the people league racing, to the people maybe even wanting to reach F1 sim racing themselves one day, and basically make a video that I wish I had all the way back in 2014 when I started my journey through league racing and eventually ending up in what was then F1 esports and then what transformed into F1 sim racing later in time. So I've got a lot of notes written down on my notepad about advices that I would give people. So this is what the video is going to be. My advice and what I believe people can do to give themselves the maximum possible chance of succeeding within this industry and becoming an F1 sim racing driver one day. So, getting into the first advice, what is going to be joining a community team. F1 sim racing and league racing and just general gaming overall can be quite lonely, and it's such a situation that you have to develop your skills in such an individual way. And being part of a community team can allow you to socialize within the industry, within the gaming space, and give you the skill sets to work with engineers, strategists, team managers, and fellow teammates as well. Something that I think is so important, because one really key characteristic of the best F1 sim racing / F1 esports drivers is people who can energize the team, can lead the team forward even through difficult moments, and that skill set that you can learn from an early age and an early development within community teams can serve you massively well later on in the industry. Additionally, the engineers, the strategists, the team managers, they all grow up as well, and you might actually find yourself in a situation that the same engineers, strategists, and team managers that you had during your community team days, they could also end up with you during the F1 sim racing part of your career. So just bear that in mind. The second part of the advice is going to be about making content. Even if that is just about uploading videos to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even if it's just a qualifying lap or race highlights or just a time trial lap that you're doing online, just upload it, because you might get the ball rolling. You might get a situation that you start to get a following, and one day that might make the difference. You might have a situation that you and another driver are completely equal on pace trying to get in to F1 sim racing, but you having a bigger following on social media and your brand having more marketability than the other driver may make the difference in getting into that team and could give you the shot in F1 sim racing that you've been looking for. Additionally, team managers, engineers, other drivers are always on Twitch, always on live streaming platforms, always on YouTube and social media as well. And your video may just get recommended to them on the homepage, and that might just give you an opportunity for them to message you, find out about you, and scout your talents and bring you on into their junior roster for the F1 sim racing team. What nicely leads me on to that third point, that is going to be getting into a dev driver role for an F1 sim racing team. This will be huge for your career and your development. Getting to see the data, getting to work alongside the full-time drivers, the full-time engineers, and the full-time team managers can elevate your performance to 1, 2, maybe even 3 attempts per lap, just getting into those little details about how you can maximize yourself. And when you really start to work with those top-level drivers, you get to see the nuanced detail that they go into and what it really takes to be a top-level driver on the F1 game series. So that's something that is so important, and something that if you can get into a dev driver role, take it, run with it, cherish it, and use the opportunity to maximize yourself. Work with the engineers, work with the team, work with the team manager, and just try to really staple yourself within the team. I would say a really good example of this actually is Duncan Hoffland. He is now a full-time driver in the Aston Martin F1 sim racing team, but he actually spent a few years being a dev driver within the team, and then this year, he was being able to give him the shot to be in the full-time roster. So that's really a great example of it, and congratulations to Duncan for working so hard over the multiple years and then getting into that position. Another example is Otis. Was a dev driver in the McLaren esports team for a long time, and then was able to transfer over to be in Aston Martin alongside Duncan as well as a teammate. And yeah, he's won a race, he's been on pole position in his rookie season, so he's doing phenomenally, and that's definitely a great bit of advice that I'll be giving. Along your pathway, along the journey, because that's sort of the main 3 bits of advice: join a community team, make content, and be part of an F1 esports / F1 sim racing development team. So now we're going to move into along the pathway, along your journey. Definitely invest in yourself. If you can have the financial ability to invest in good equipment, good monitors, good rigs, good wheelbases, good pedals, definitely do it, because that might make all the difference. Looping back in to the point that I made earlier, though, about making content, this is where the 2 things intertwine quite well. If you build up a following on social media and over your YouTube, your Twitch, your TikTok, your Instagram, you may be in a position that you can approach companies and get them to sponsor you the equipment, bringing down the financial strain of trying to make a career in this industry anyway, because the wheelbases, the rigs, the monitors, they all add up to be quite financially costly. And if you can be in a position that you can grow your social media following, that you can approach a company and they can sponsor you the equipment, then you can be basically investing yourself for free and actually making money on the side while doing that. Well, again, then you can further invest in your career going forward. Don't be scared to make mistakes. I made so many mistakes in my time. I actually have quite a lot of videos from before I was doing F1 esports on my channel, so if you want to go and watch them, feel free. But yeah, I was doing a lot of league racing back from like 2015, 2016, 2017. Oh my god, I was crashing all the time. I was pretty quick. I was pretty good over a qualifying lap, but I was completely a loose end on that situation. Like, just absolutely crazy during the races. I didn't probably have the best reputation back then as well for my racing standards, and that's something that actually allowed me to grow. And then when I reached the F1 esports finale in 2017, because of those lessons that I learned from the mistakes that I made during league racing, that allowed me to be in the best possible position to know the limits of the rule book, to be better than ever, and just basically grow through the mistakes that I'd made. Definitely avoid toxic people. It's such an obvious thing to say, but really hard to do. Learn a skill set of understanding what people actually want you to succeed and what people just want to be boosting their ego and will probably try to pull you down from the pedestal if you ever beat them one day. That's a really critical part, and understanding what people are good-natured and what people want the best for you in your strategy team, your engineering team, your team manager, and your teammates as well. Of course, in an ideal situation, everyone around the team want the best thing for you, and of course you want the best thing for the team as well. But more often than not, that doesn't always happen, so you really have to understand a human skill of understanding what people you want to be close with and what people you want to put more distance towards, quite simply to protect yourself and to not be in a situation that other people can negatively affect your career. Definitely play other games, such as iRacing. Maybe Le Mans Ultimate is coming out. If you're on console, play other games such as Assetto Corsa. Even if you don't race on them competitively, giving yourself the opportunity to learn a different handling model, learn different people, different skill sets, and a different approach to driving a sim racing car, different approach to setting up sim racing equipment, may help you one day. The F1 game series is very unique in the sense that every single year the game changes drastically more often than not. So if you can go on those games such as Assetto Corsa, iRacing, Le Mans Ultimate, or any platformer game that you can think about, Even if it's not a full simulator, maybe if you're playing Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport, learning those skill sets of adapting to a new game very, very quickly, becoming competitive, can also help you in the long run when adapting to a new game in the F1 game series. And being quicker to adapt may again help you in a situation to be talent scouted and make those key results count when getting to an F1 sim racing development team or even a full-time roster. Think about it this way. F1 2025 is just around the corner. If you can learn a skill set on how to adapt yourself as quickly as possible to a new game handling model, you might win the first 2 races of your league racing start to F1 25. That might give you a position that you get talent scouted and then going into a full-time roster. So if you want to make an impression on F1 sim racing teams, really focus on the first races of a new game cycle, because that is when they're looking for dev drivers. That's when they're looking to maybe fill up a roster for maybe a driver who's left, and that can give you a really, really great opportunity. The third and final part of this video is going to be about my plans going forward. I want to be open, honest, transparent, and fair with you at home so you know what to expect from me and the content I'll be making in the future. With that being said, once I am back from F1 sim racing and back from Stockholm, Sweden next week, I'll be pursuing content creation full time. How will that look? I'll be building upon my F1 tutorials and educational videos that I'm already doing at the moment, additionally adding on the F1 career mode as well as open lobbies and just general fun and engaging content alongside my educational videos around the F1 game series. On the side of that, doing games such as iRacing and other basically racing simulation platforms that I find interesting, engaging, what I believe could be making good, enjoyable content for you at home. Something I'm very excited about is I'll be launching my own coaching website and my own coaching platform to hopefully help you advance your knowledge and your ability as a driver to be more confident, faster, and the main goal is to enjoy driving more than ever. That'll be coming around the launch of F1 25 and a project that I'm very, very, very excited about. So with all that being said, that's it. My sim racing career on the F1 platform is coming to a close. I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy about it. It definitely feels like the right time, but I'll speak more about that after I get back from Sweden. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me during that part of my career, part of my life, and I am so excited for the next phase. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you when I'm back from Sweden. Grazie ragazzi, ciao ciao, bye bye.